We also bought some bags with chicken feed. Oh, there we go. This is actually what came out of the pipe. It's another beautiful spring morning here on the farm. We have a lot of things to do today. The first we are going to do is to collect some firewood, so let's get started. So now we're over at the river where we were digging some trenches on some earlier videos. And the reason why we're here is because the power company has been clearing the power lines that are over our head here. And when they do that, they cut down a lot of trees. But they just cut them down, they don't do anything more about them. So we need some more firewood and we need to cut them up. So a thing that I always do when I'm cutting firewood is that I will look for a piece of branch like this, which has a color that will make it stand out a bit more against the other logs. And I measure up 60 centimeters and I make a mark. And then I'm going to cut it here and use this as a template for the other logs. Now the reason I do this is because 60 centimeters is kind of like a standard when it comes to firewood. And it also it's a lot easier to keep and handle the firewood when everything is the same length. It started to rain a lot outside, so I'm taking a break in the tractor garage. No, I don't really mind that. It wasn't forecasted any rain for today, so I'm guessing it won't be long until it stops again. And also I'm a bit tired now, so the break is kind of welcome. And this is actually one of the things that I really like with this kind of work. When you're tired in your body and you just sit down outside in nature, especially now in the springtime when you can listen to the birds, the sound of the sheep grazing, that really fills my mind with kind of like a peace, inner peace. And I don't really get that from anything else. And also this job is actually something that I've been thinking about for some time now, because I don't remember when they actually did this, when they cut down those trees, but they've been there for some time now. And every time I see them, I've been thinking I should cut them up. And so this is one of the things that I really like with a farm. When you have a lot of small tasks that needs to be done, when you are able to do one of them, it gives you a really good feeling. But I do think that one of the recipes for having a good life is to have the right amount of hardship. Not too much, because that will just crush you. And also not a completely easy life, but the right amount. And every time that you have a task that you are able to kind of tick off, that will give you a good feeling. And if your life is like that, then I think you will have a good life. So it looks like the rain just stopped, so let's go and cut the rest of the firewood. And that is the final log. This creek, and to see that this pipe is open and flowing, gives me great satisfaction. Sometimes when it's raining a lot, I will go over here just to see how much water that comes out of this pipe. And the reason for that is that since we bought this farm at least 7 years ago, this pipe has been blocked, completely clogged, nothing came out of it. For those of you that are new to the channels, about a month ago we used this plunger to figure out where this pipe was blocked. And we used the digger on the tractor to open up and pull out the blockade. Now this plunger is unfortunately completely stuck in there. I tried to pull it out with the tractor, it didn't work. So I'm guessing I'm going to leave it here. So something that you didn't see on that video, because I actually lost a lot of footage, I forgot to hit the record button, was that when I was pulling out some roots, the main blockade kind of got loose and disappeared into the pipe. And some days later we had a lot of rain, and then the blockade came out. And this is actually what came out of the pipe. This giant piece of root had been growing inside of the pipe. So it's no wonder that it wasn't coming any water out of it. And this is not something that we would ever be able to clear up with a plunger or something like that. So I'm really satisfied about opening up this pipe, because this means so much to the land. It drains a lot of excess water. So a question that I get quite often, both in comments and from other people, is why wait? Why didn't we just pay a professional from day one? They could come in with their big machines, they could just tear up the land, they could lay down new pipes, dig all the trenches for us. They could just do everything. And yes, they could. And it would be quick, and it would also be really expensive. And if you want to live the way we do, then loans is something that you need to avoid at all costs. Because loans is a good way of trapping people. Everybody's heard of interest, but when it comes to houses and cars and stuff like that, we don't really think about it. But you have to pay back everything that you have loaned with interest, and that gets a whole lot more. Now, for us to have the biggest house or the newest equipment or the newest cars, it's never been a priority. We want to be free. So yes, I could have paid somebody a lot of money, but instead I ended up buying an old tractor and a digger attachment. And those two things combined probably cost a lot less than what I would have to pay for a professional just to switch out this pipe and to do some of our trenches. And with that tractor I could trench for years. So yes, I could have had it all in the beginning, but it's not really worth it in my mind. So but anyway, let's get back with this firewood. So we did get a bit more firewood than what I expected. Now they've also cut down some more trees on another field, but we are not going to process them today because I have some other plans. Do you want to go in? So we both actually have a cat and a dog. Now the dog loves the cat, but the cat hates the dog. Are you guys hungry? So they have forecasted now temperatures above freezing for at least the next week. So my wife wants to start to use the greenhouse. So we need to get the oven going. So I'm hoping I won't regret this the next time we get the power bill. But we will see. So this cable is the thermostat, and this should go up somewhere high. So it will read the temperatures in the room instead of on the floor, because then it would never go off. So the next point on my list is actually a point that my wife put there. She needs some more dirt for her planting. So this should be enough. Now earlier we have been buying the finished bag with planting soil, but it does seem kind of wasteful when we have big piles of dirt lying everywhere on our farm after all the digging that we've done. Now the soil that we have on our farm, this black kind, is actually the same that you get in those finished bags. The only thing that they do is to add different kind of nutrition depending on what kind of planting you are doing with them. So it's a lot cheaper for us to just add the nutrition that we need instead of just buying big bags of dirt. So that's what we're going to do this year. So we have also been on a local farm store, and one of the things that we bought is this. So what this is some kind of playhouse for rabbits. Now if this is any good or not, we don't know, but we decided to give it a try. And we also bought some bags with chicken feed. For our hens, we usually buy two different kind of feeds. One is the standard egg laying feed, and the other one is like a higher brand with corn and with grass and everything that's good for them. So when we mix those two together, we get the best of both worlds. And the last thing that we bought is this. This is an automatic vent opener. This is supposed to open the greenhouse window if it gets really warm in there. So the way this is supposed to work is that there is a piston here with some sort of liquid inside, and if it gets warm, this liquid will expand and kind of open this mechanism. Okay, so let's see. Put in the freezer, push this in, put this on. Well, I've done these steps. This is supposed to be... Okay, so it's finally up. Now this was actually a lot easier to do when I just stopped reading the instructions. Now, does this work? Well, it's a bit too cold to test it out right now, but I do have an idea. So I'm guessing I need to be a bit careful when doing this, so I don't end up destroying it. So we will try with a low setting. Well, there we go. It works. So the sun has dipped below the horizon, and that means that it's the end of another great spring day here on my farm, or homestead, whatever you want to call it. I'm guessing that 33 acres qualifies as a small farm, so let's go with farm. But anyway, it's been fun, and thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want to see another video from our farm, have a look at this video next. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.